Well, whenever you're playing somebody that can run the football like they can, and really that's the mindset every week is to stop the run. That's every defense. That's no secret. Every defense has to stop the run first. And so we will always put emphasis on that. That is the goal, the number one goal every week. And so we have some things that, we just continue to talk about and build upon, like we've been talking about since camp started. You know what I mean? So you're just putting emphasis on it even more because how well they run the football. No billboard. What keeps running through my head is no billboard material. That's just what keeps running through. That's just me to myself. So y'all got to be cool with the questions. But it hasn't really, to be honest with you. The same talk is being talked or not talked or talked about from even '07, to be honest with you. So the mindset is the same in a lot of ways. The main thing is to go out and play hard and try to get a victory.
Do you feel like the respect coming the other way is different than it was before 10 wins in 14 years?
I've been a Spartan a long time, since 1985. First time that I can remember, I tell people this, I heard us mentioned this summer about got to beat us. First time. Unless you all know another time, first time. I thought that was pretty interesting. This past summer. I'll let y'all figure out where that, y'all heard it. Everybody heard it. So I'll say it that way. We can build upon it. Like you said, getting X back in the lineup, that makes a big difference. One of the smartest players I've ever coached. Does a really good job of helping, not only helping, doing his job, but helping others. And so he's really good at that. It did help getting some players back, guys communicating and building confidence. So we're feeling pretty good. It's kind of funny. I remember Coach Perles, how he felt about them, and it just was. I didn't know it was like that when I first came here, but you learn pretty quickly. And he, being a former Spartan himself and knowing the history, and we hearing all of the different stories about, how it all worked out and how it came to be, then you're in it. It's funny because in high school, I played against a school called Moeller, Cincinnati Moeller, and same colors. And my school and theirs, we did not like each other. We did not, so it's kind of I just flowed right into it. It was the same, like the same, got the same emblem and everything. And the funny thing about that, though, I tell people nowadays, probably the most players I got out of any school recruiting. Moeller, isn't that crazy? But yeah, he really, I give Coach Perles the credit, if you want to say credit, for having me feel the way I feel. Well, they're both good players, obviously. I mean, they won the Big Ten last year. Both really good football players. They both can run around, see the field well. I just, they felt like, the other kid was better, I'm assuming. I don't know that for a fact, but he's out there playing for them, so you're trying to play your best players. But you got to be prepared for either one of those guys because they both can play good football, and they've won a lot of games for them. So we're preparing for either guy. Well, the way football's been going in the last several years, if it's a so-called quarterback controversy, then you know what they're thinking. And why is it a controversy? Because they think the other guy probably is a little bit better or has a chance to be better. And so I wasn't totally surprised because he did get in the game against us as well last year. So I wasn't totally surprised that they did that. Both those guys have done a really, really good job, and they both really improved. Especially by getting even more playing time in real game situations. They've had a chance to show what they can do and done a really good job. So it really helps us out. In a lot of ways, we were and have been, especially last year, because you had a lot of new guys on the team. We were learning defense as opposed to defending offense, if that makes sense. And I think we're now getting to the point where we're actually trying to defend offense as opposed to learn defense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not, but that's what we're getting, because we got some guys back and they understand it better, this, that, and other. And so that makes a difference. So experience, not only far as a senior or something like that, because it could be a senior here, but if it's their first time in the system, they're like a freshman, if that makes sense. So we're getting to the point now where we can start thinking about defending the offense as opposed to learning defense and on the run, so to speak. Yeah, literally just walking from off the practice field, one of the players, linebacker, said to me, he said, "Man, I got to get with another kid that's back there." He said, because he ain't like X. I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Man, he tell you everything before the ball is even snapped. He's saying everything. Like, I love playing with him." Literally just walking from, but that's what he does. I mean, he's film study. He's an extremely smart young man. And can pre-snap call things out, and he really tries to help others. So he doesn't keep it to himself. He can also talk to others about it, and so that's that makes him a very, very valuable weapon. Man, I said no billboard material. I almost said something too. Yeah, yep. Why is it personal to me? It's just a good, friendly rivalry, man. It's coming because we keep emphasizing it. So it's coming along. It's not hard to see when you're watching football games, just period. Michigan State, anybody, Big Ten, SEC, NFL, high school. Everybody know who the guys are that want to go out and hit somebody who don't. I mean, it's not hard to see if you're really paying attention, right? And so, we kind of cut from the same cloth, Coach Tucker and I, in that, I grew up I played football to hit people. Let's just be honest. That's why I played. All right, it wasn't to get a pick six. It was just literally just to run through people. I'm getting fired up as I talk about it, but that's why I played the game. And so I kind of coach it that same way, and that's what we expect out of our guys. And so when you do that, hey, you fine with me. Yes, that's probably true. I mean, we probably wouldn't see it as much because he was so multifaceted. He could do a little bit of both. So you probably wouldn't have seen it as much because of how he plays. But it definitely helps us out based on certain personnel.